Hi, it's Tara. Today I want to talk to those new parents out there or about to be new parents. Something I've heard from many first-time moms and dads is, I don't know what to do with them. Most of us have figured out that the babies are going to need to have diaper changes, they're going to need to eat, and they're going to need to sleep. But what do you do with them? So one thing that I want to tell all parents is, well, actually there's a few things, but you can never hold your baby too much. Don't let anybody tell you you're spoiling your baby by holding them. Holding them, loving your baby, giving them love and attention is not spoiling. Giving people things they need is not spoiling. Giving people things they want just because they want it and overdoing it, or giving it just because they think they have to have it, that can be spoiling. You can't spoil a baby. They are not able to manipulate you. They do not have the cognitive capacity to manipulate you. I don't care how genius your baby is, they cannot manipulate you. So don't worry about that. And again, all of this advice I'm giving is for the typically developing child. If your child has medical needs, special needs, refer to your doctor's advice. And by doctor, I mean the doctors that actually lay hands and eyes on your child, not the doctor that you Google. If you don't agree with what your doctor is saying, find another live doctor that you can go to in person and get a second opinion on. Not every doctor makes the right call every single time. They are human. They might miss stuff. You know your child best. If you have a gut feeling about something, don't take no for an answer. Look into it. Find qualified medical professionals to examine your child. Okay, so that aside, first thing I want to tell you is it's never too early for tummy time. I know many people think, well, I'll just wait until they're a little older, then we'll start tummy time. You might struggle with it then because the child is like, well, what the heck, this is new and different. I don't know if I like this is uncomfortable. So bring them home from the hospital, again, typically developing baby, put them on their tummy, stay with them. Put a blanket on the floor, baby blanket, receiving blanket, put them on their tummy. If you put them on their tummy for 2 minutes after every diaper change, that's a lot of tummy time for a newborn. But I recommend putting them on their tummy until they're unhappy about it, or until they fall asleep, which if it's a newborn, that's going to happen pretty quickly. Roll them over, unless you were going to stay right there and stare at them and watch them take every single breath, which if you're an exhausted new parent is probably not likely. Put them on their put them on their backs. Find a safe place for them to sleep. Can be in the middle of the floor, especially if they're your very first child and you don't have any pets to worry about. They can lay flat on their back on the floor. Perfectly fine. Do tummy time. Do tummy time several times a day. Your goal is to work up to where they can spend the majority of their wake time on their tummy. Now some of you are probably like, why does it really matter? Many reasons. One of which, when the child has time on their tummy, it takes more effort to breathe. So it takes more muscles to move their body up to breathe. So it's a strengthening exercise. They have the opportunity to work on strengthening the muscles in their neck. So they're going to try to lift their heads, they're going to try to turn their heads, they're going to eventually start lifting up more and more. They're going to start strengthening the muscles through here. They're going to start using their hands to push up. All those are so important. They're important for vision, which most people don't realize. Being on your tummy, being able to lift your head up, focus on things, using your hands together, all those things are super important for your child. So put them on their tummies. The other super important thing is talk to your baby. I know it's not natural for everybody to talk to somebody that doesn't respond to you, especially very young newborn. They don't really respond back to you. They're not smiling yet, but that comes pretty quickly. They're not necessarily reacting to you, but they need to hear your voice. The more you talk to your baby, the bigger vocabulary they are going to have. Also, reading to your baby. You know, some of you are like, they're like 4 weeks old, what am I reading? It's mostly the habit that you are forming, the bonding time that you are having with your child, and you are helping them develop a love of books. So You are going to be able to read the same book over and over and over again to where you're going to have it memorized. You can just flip the pages. When your child gets a little bit older and they're sitting up and manipulating things, then they can have the book while you recite it. Before you know it, your children are going to start reading, and by that I mean they are going to start looking at a book and saying the words that they've heard you say when they read that book, and they're going to try to pretend to read. It's super important. Many studies out there emphasize the importance of children having access to books before they go to school, having been read to them every day before they go to school. I know I hear some people say, it's like, oh, my kid is not interested in books. If you start at a super young age, they might go through phases to where they'd rather be active and move around, but there's going to be a time of day that they're going to sit with you for 1 to 5 minutes and let you read a book. Another really important thing, which is really hard when you have little ones, read in front of them. So you read something. And I heard so many parents that was like, I can't pay attention to a book right now. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're paying attention to it. Just let them see you read. Whether you are reading your grocery list, point out, hey, I need to read my grocery list. If you're reading emails on your phone, point out that you're reading on your phone. Kids just think you're playing. They know that there's games on that phone. They just think you're playing. So if you're reading, I need to read this. If you're making something and you're reading a recipe, I need to read the instructions. I need to read the recipe. I need to read the street signs. I need to read. So point out all the times you read. Kids will get that it's important. They will develop a love for it. That is one of the best things you can do for your child. Read to them, talk to them. Those two things are vitally important. So another thing that I really like to encourage parents is when you're talking to your baby, the types of things that you talk about. And you just kind of talk about what you're doing. But especially as the kids get older and a little more interactive, I'm talking older like, 6, 8, 9 months. And then when you're giving them things, describe what you're giving them. Here's your red block. Here's your yellow cup. Use words like, oh wow, you have 2 blocks. 1, 2. Wow, 2. You got 2 blocks. Use that kind of vocabulary with them. And you're carrying them and you're walking up the steps. Count. Count out loud. You're going up the steps, just count. Use descriptive words, use color words, use number words, use size words. Wow, that's a really big tower you made. Or, oh, this is a really tiny book. Or, this book is hard and this book is squishy. When you're changing your diaper, like, oh, this is stinky. Oh, this is wet. Oh, this is cold. Use those words. Use those descriptive words. It will help them understand your vocabulary. It will help them learn those words so that they can use them. The bigger vocabulary your child has, often the less tantrums they have. Not always the case, because sometimes there's other things involved, but a lot of 2-year-old tantrums comes from children not being able to communicate. And many studies have shown that children understand language way before they can speak it, which we know. Like, as a parent, if you've been around your child, you know there are certain words that you cannot say because they know what you're talking about, even though they can't say the word. So, another thing that I like to encourage parents to do is use sign language. Find a class, find signing time on PBS, check it out at your library. I'm a signing time instructor, so I have classes. If you live near me, you can come to my classes. Teach your children some sign language. It is more than just speaking. Obviously it's sign language, but it's more than just saying the words or using the sign to get the word out. It works so many different parts of your body. Some people, learn better when they can move, when they're moving with their learning, so it gives you that. It's a visual language. It triggers different parts of your brain than a spoken language, so it's developing. If you're speaking and signing at the same time, you're getting different parts of the brain working at the same time. They're working together. It helps with brain functions and growth. It's awesome. Can't say enough nice things about sign language. So find a class. Signing time, TV, it's awesome. You can subscribe to it for, oh goodness, it's often 99 cents for the first month, and I think it's like $10 a month after that. And you have access to all videos. You can learn them with your child. You can use the signs with them. It's awesome. So speak and sign to your baby, read to them, give them tummy time. Those are some of the most important things you can do that first year of life. A lot of other things will fall into place if you're doing those things. So if you have any specific questions about what you want to do or what your child's doing now and how to get them to the next step, or when you should worry if they're not doing something, which for the most part, don't worry. If your child is developing typical is a huge range, people, huge. Typical is not within this 2-week period. Typical is often months and months. So don't worry, but if you have specific questions, email me, comment in the comments, talk to your doctor, talk to your early intervention program in your state if you're concerned, and get your child evaluated. Most places the services come to your home. I can't speak for every state out there, but in Indiana the services come to you if your child is under the age of 3, which is awesome. So please give me a like and subscribe to this channel and email me your questions. Bye, have a good day.